Hello. Thank you for watching Bougie by You Witches podcast.
My mind run deep in my thoughts when I didn't have it. Sleeping on the floor, wishing it was a mattress. Now I'm in Hollywood with actors and actresses. Where everybody bougie, latest trends and fashions. I'd rather keep it a buck, 100 if you ask me. I was trying to pay the bills just like last.
Hello, I'm Toni. I'm the host of the Bougie by You Witches podcast. And I have some guests with me, and this is
Shantara,
Nisha,
and Mai.
All right, so this is going to be episode 8, and we're going to be talking about, let's talk about tarot or intuitive readers. And I know people really love this. This is a great topic to talk about. So first of all, I'm going to go ahead and get started with, what type of reader do you consider yourself, Shantara?
To be honest with you, I'm both. I could go either way, the cards or intuitive. I think the cards are more so for the stubborn people that I got to see what's going on. Flip the cards.
I agree with you.
But I can do it either way.
Yeah.
Stubborn people.
Okay. Anisha, do you read cards?
that would be my next step.
Okay.
I'm more of a, I can feel people's emotions.
Okay. All right. And what about you, Ma?
Intuitive.
Intuitive. That's what I'm talking
I don't know
about.
how to do tarot cards. If you tell me I don't know. I just, no.
Well, I'm going to be honest with y'all. So I don't really consider myself a reader. I've been told on many occasions, you're a reader. You don't have to use cards. You're just intuitive. And I'm like, oh, really? Okay. But I do like to use cards only when I have questions about certain things. I will get with my spirit team and have them to, help me out with pulling some cards and stuff like that. But like, do I do it for people? No. Do I have the patience to do it for people? No. But I can honestly say I don't mind doing it for myself when I need to know questions about certain situations and things sometimes that I'm going through if I'm not in the mood of using my pendulum or bothering my spirit team. So yes. But can you explain what intuition is and how it plays a role in tarot card reading?
That's a great question. And I'm so glad that you brought that up because I've been paying attention to a lot of the readers on TikTok. And for myself, when it comes time for me to pull a card, I can get the same card for many different people, but the messages are going to be different. Yes. So for me personally, I realized just today that I get my messages, even though it may be the same card, the message is coming directly from their person's spirit team. So it ain't no way that these people on this TikTok is getting the same messages for everybody. Like it's a disconnect, something different.
Right.
But yes. You got to use your intuition. When you flip them cards, it's supposed to be a group of people or that person's ancestor or your team talking to you, telling you the message for that particular card.
I totally agree.
Yeah, you gotta watch out for those TikTokers that are just like, this
sure
is for the collective. And
yeah.
I'm like, no,
and you be like, I don't even relate to that. But then they say, but it's not for everybody. It's only for certain people. If it's not for you, then you need to lose your rising or your this and your that. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all know we watch a lot of readings. Okay, she do.
No, for
me,
I'm so funny. For me, I watch the ones on TikTok that I even test a few. I'm the one of them. I'm curious to see what they can read for me. And for me, if you don't cover your crown, then you're not. To me, I don't think you're a real considered as a real reader.
Cover that crown, baby.
Because I've know a few that actually do cover their crown. They are very gifted, and at the same time, some of them, they're so excited to be on that platform that they forget that, all the energy that's out there. Yes. People can just look at you and get a picture of you and then that'll block everything. And then you're always saying, oh, it's not for everybody. Of course it's not for everybody because everybody's not having that type of issue that day. So for me, it would be more, I'm drawn to the crown people that actually cover their self.
Yes.
And also, I see a lot of people on TikTok, they always want to play in the graveyard. That is not a place where you play in. It's more like you only do those things when you're actually doing work. And not only for yourself, but if you're working for someone. And so it's all about what you're drawn to. And I think sometimes they just do that for money. And then I actually had a person that inboxed me and said, oh, you're having a bad day, or your family is this, or you're overwhelmed. No, I'm not.
Don't trust them folks that be getting y'all inboxes, okay, y'all? They get in mine. I start asking them questions. They shut up quick.
Exactly.
Don't play with me. Do not come for me and don't play with me. I am not these other folks that's gullible. You are not going to play and fool me. I'm not going to sit here and fall for your okie dokie because you need a couple of quick dollars in your pocket and you trying to come for me or, people that know me.
Or I have a message for you. Yes. What kind of message you got for me that I ain't got for myself?
My spirit messages. I don't need you to give it to me. But yeah. Go ahead, Ma.
What was the question again? It was
Okay, no problem. Sure. It's
confused.
Can you explain what intuition is and how it plays a role in tarot card reading?
I don't do tarot card readings, so I have no idea, and I don't watch them, so I don't know how to
But being
answer
like
that.
an intuitive reader and stuff
Okay,
like
I can
how do you
answer
feel like
that.
how do you feel like it plays a role in that?
Intuition? It's like the most important thing. Like, if you don't trust your intuition, how are you going to know what your true answers are? You need to connect with your whole entire team, that we're all one, and that's how we work. And if they say move left, you move left. If they say move right, you move right. And
Right.
so to me, that's more of my thing. It's more here.
Yeah.
And here and here. I don't use the tarot cards. I can't, I'm not saying anything about it.
Right.
I can't connect with them. I don't know
And
why.
you know what? I prefer it when people just come to me and be intuitive and just tell me messages and things from the spirit team, because I can know when my spirit team communicating and talking to you, because I do pull cards and read myself anyway, and I be knowing things. So when you come in with the cards and you say, oh yeah, you're going to be wealthy. Oh yeah, you're going to be this. You're going to be that. Okay. How do I know it's for me? And then you're just not pulling and just saying it, you know. So I like it when people are intuitive readers versus the tarot readers. It's just my opinion. Don't come for me. So it's my opinion. I like it when you're intuitive, because that let me know that you don't need no cards to read me. You're that gifted that you can read me without the cards.
I have asked several of my clients, though. I'm like, how do you, or like, what is your experience from the session that we had? Like tarot versus intuitive. And they explained it to me, which I thought it was pretty cool. It's like tarot gives it out as like a form of a story. And to me, mine is not a story. It's like boom, 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 boom. Okay, and then what? Boom, 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 boom. Like, I don't have a story to tell over here. It's just straight up answers that are coming out of my mouth.
I do have a question for you, Toni. What do you think about some of them that actually do tarot, but it's for like, how can I say it? I follow this one lady that she's always speaking sexual, and she used sexual tarot cards to say, oh, he's thinking about you, or he's missing you, or he wants to do these things with you.
Oh, Loja.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think you know what I'm talking about.
Loja.
Honestly, I don't know really, because I ain't gonna lie, I haven't been watching that many tarot readers anymore like I have in the past. I just kind of stick to, I'll be honest with y'all, my two intuitive tarot readers is right here, y'all. My Shantara, that's it. I know my spirit team connects with them and tell them, because baby, they be on point with what they say. And they don't tell me stuff that I already knew. They tell me stuff that I don't know, that I know my team probably have told them. You know, because I did 2 separate readings with them, and they told me the similar stuff, and I said, ain't no way in the world, because this person didn't know that this person told me this. So that's how I know my team talks to them. So that's the type of readers I like. Them intuitive readers where my team let the guards down and go and tell them what they need to relate to me. Because I've had a lot of readers read me. I'm sorry. And I just was like, okay, that's it. You know, like after it's like, y'all can't even read me. My team didn't even go to y'all. I already knew it. They kept them guards up, and you was trying to read around with them, saying, instead of saying, I can't read you, you should have just said you couldn't read me, and I would have accepted that, because I know my team is very protective over me and stuff. But Nisha, what was the question that you was asking me? I don't got all the time.
That's so something to piggyback over your time.
No, it's just that I actually like this young lady that I follow on TikTok.
Okay.
But everything she talks about is just sexual. Everything is he thinks about you, or she thinks about you, and he misses you. And I'm thinking, do you have anything else to talk about?
Maybe that's just what she likes to talk about, because you know how certain people have certain things that
like
they like to, so her niche is the sexual versus just talking about money that a lot of people won't always hear about. She want to talk about sexual things and stuff like that, so that's probably, like she said, her niche, and so that's why she always talk about. So what you need to do is tune into her when you in that moment and you want to know about him, or then you might need to tune into another reader when you want to know about other things, because a lot of readers, they do have their own little niche and different things they like to specialize in and talk about.
Can I just add something real quick?
Sure.
Coming from a reader that used to do it live on TV, it's mostly the energy of the people that's tapping in or watching that the reader usually picks up on. So a lot of the times, and that's what made me step away, period, from doing it live, because it was like I was repeating myself over and over again because the same energies keep wanting the same question. So it's usually the energy of the watchers that's feeding into the reader.
Yeah, and that's true. I agree.
Like with you when you said, oh, a lot of people can't read me and they just try to like
Yeah,
cut corners, like what could she possibly want, this and that. I'm straight up, if I can't read you, I'm like, you have something on you, and that is the reason why I can't read you. I'm gonna tell you straight up.
Or either their team is blocking them to where they don't want you to read them. It's like, be honest.
I'm honest. If I can't read you, I can't read you. I don't want your money. I can't read you. I'm sorry, but you have this, and this, and this on you, and I can't do nothing. I can't do nothing.
Or when you tell
you something don't make no damn sense. Oh, excuse my life. It don't make no sense. But yeah, go ahead.
Or when the reader is telling you something, I think too. Well, I know for sure when the reader is telling you, giving you advice and suggests, follow what that reader is telling you to do. If they're telling you do X, Y, and Z, don't go back and do the opposite of what they're telling you, because it's wasting your time. So listen the first time when they tell you, because when they come back, you come back in and see that reader, oh, this happened to me again. That reader might not want to do those things for you again because you didn't listen the first time. You're being hard-headed.
Totally agree.
That part.
Don't get it twisted now. I do have some YouTube readers that I do really like, and then I did have this lady. It was a Cuban lady. She did a reading for me. Now, I ain't gonna lie, she was good. She said some things that was true. I ain't gonna lie. Then was she good? Was she good, Ma?
She was good.
Okay, she was good. I like her. She was good too. So yeah, but what were you saying, Nisha? Sorry.
I don't know. No, I'm just saying, like, we have some clients that come in, they get their readings, and then they're like, okay, well, such and such is doing such and such. Okay, well, I'm giving you a solution and advice to stop and cut cords with this person, and then few weeks later you come back and you have the same problem. That reader or whoever spiritual person is working with you did all this work, and you're being hard-headed, and then you come back again and talking about, I really need your help.
Oh, it didn't work. What you said,
right?
You were wrong. I love testing them. I'm like, so did you do what exactly I told you to do? Even though I know the answer, I'm just gonna test to see if you're gonna keep it real with me. Oh yeah, I did everything exactly how you told me. I don't know why it didn't work. So you stayed in this path that I told you to stay in that path so you wouldn't steer off. They're like, yeah, I did. And I'm like, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. And I said it just like that. And they're like,
they can guess
I can't lie to
and
you.
all of
Like, you sure can't.
Okay. Tell me about it.
Get out of here with it. No.
Okay. So let me ask y'all, what inspired you to become an intuitive or tarot reader?
I don't think we get inspired for this. We didn't choose this.
Did you go like me?
It was just one of the gifts that God blessed us with, and as a messenger, we don't have a choice or option. It seems like some people do, but I feel like the chosen ones, we don't have an option.
Them chosen
so
ones,
whether you go through hell or whatever it is that you go through, you try to not use your gift, it still happens, or your life gets thrown into a blender on high, and you just spent around until you get on your path. So it's not a choice, to be quite honest with you, because if I had to choose, I promise to God I wouldn't choose this.
Some of those, this is the path that we were supposed to go. It's not something you want to go to sleep with thinking. I'm like,
right?
Or if you, for me, past experience years ago, I was 11, 12 years old. I can think about this house. My mom bought this house, and I had this one room. It was like a diagonal rectangle square room, and it was green. She put me a little bed in there, had a bookshelf and a straw desk. It was a straw chair with a desk. And I think for me, when I kept seeing this man in his overalls and the straw hat,
Lord,
and it was like, why are you messing with me? It was, I wasn't terrified, but I'm like, Mom, there's a man in here. And then she's like, well, what are you talking about? I don't see no man in your room. And I'm like, he's not bothering me, but he's keeping me company. And it was like, he will hang out. And I'm like, okay, well, since you're here, can you do my homework? When you're 12, 13 years old, you don't know what's going on.
True.
So it was like, well, why you chose for me to see you and nobody else can see you? And then it's like, okay, well, since we got to live in this house together, I guess we might as well get along together. And then you go back as you become an adult and years later, you know, your family members, you start seeing them and you're like, I haven't seen you since such and such. And it's like, okay, well, it's a calming spirit. Or you might say something that when another child is born, you're like, hey, such and such is having a child, you know, just be careful, blah, blah, blah. And then they laugh at you. And then next thing you know, you get that phone call weeks later and said, hey, such and such had a baby on what day did you say? And then when you say the date, they think something is wrong. It's like, well, I didn't choose to say this to scare you. It's just that it's there. There's nothing I can do. Just next time when I tell you something, listen.
What about you, Ma?
What was the question again?
What? Look, I was already
you know my mind is somewhere else. It's always somewhere else.
Spirit could give her the messages. Okay.
Damn it! It's always when I'm doing this.
Right. What inspired you to become an intuitive or tarot card reader? Which we know you're an intuitive reader.
What inspired me? Like she said, it was just something that you just have.
It just comes natural.
It just comes natural. When I was a child, I think I saw a lot of things that would scare me, and they were like in the dark and it's scary and stuff like that. And I would always want to sleep with my mom and dad, and I couldn't understand it. And then I got older, then I started, you know, kind of figuring out who I was, and now I'm like, oh, okay. I was seeing things and like messages, people were coming to me, and I was getting scared. I'm like, there's somebody in the house, like how she said. I would get freaked out. I was like 5 or 6 years old, and then I was born into a very strict Catholic household, so that was like, that's the devil. What did you do?
Everybody's favorite word. That's the
devil. Yeah, they say it in Spanish. Es el demonio. I'm like, oh my god. I was scared. I was like, what do you mean? So they're like, Myra, you just need to pray and keep praying and keep praying. And then I got over.
What's that gonna do?
What's that gonna do?
Sure, okay. Or my mama used to say, call upon Jehovah and it's gonna be okay. What, Mom? She didn't even understand. Spirits was coming to me when I was a teenager. I would go to sleep, I would see them, but I didn't understand until I got older and everything started making sense to me. When I was young, I didn't understand why I always was seeing these different deities and spirits and stuff in my dreams. I didn't know why they was coming for me. I didn't understand that, but when I got older, everything made sense. I had some encounters at my grandmother's house with 8 balls moving and disappearing in the other rooms. And then, of course, I didn't make it no better playing on the Ouija board, but you know, like, hey, I was a little follower sometimes when I was young. I seen Bone Thugs and Harmony talking about it, so I got a little curious, because I ain't gonna lie, I was a curious kid, you know? He talking about, Ouija, you with me? And I'm like, hold on, wait a minute now. Let me go get my friends. Y'all ready to come play? Let's go play. And so, you know, we start asking questions about, you know, different things. But, you know, when you're young, you're gonna do things. Like, I was always into horoscopes and stuff like that. Like, every time my mama got her Woman Day magazines and just get different magazines, period. What was it? Jet, Ebony. I turned right to the back to read what my horoscope was going to be. Nobody told me about that. Look, that's the newspaper.
In the newspaper.
Oh, yeah. And that newspaper, too. Yeah. And that newspaper, you open that newspaper, and you going to read what the horoscope, because I wanted to know what was projected for me, what was going to happen.
For me, it was the obituaries. I need to see who passed away.
Oh, my God.
And I always want to go to an estate sale. And I shouldn't say that, but that was me.
I looked at it, but I just...
I'm like, y'all see the paper today? Earl passed away. What's wrong with this child?
Wow. You started out on the dark side. Like, I wasn't worried about the obituary. I tried to see my horoscope.
But for some of us, that was the first gift that opened up. Because when I was 3, it was the deaf spirit that came and started working with me first.
Oh, wow.
And that's what scared me to hell. Because... what is this? How do I know somebody, you know, getting ready to pass? Sometimes that's the first gift that we work with.
So when you was 3, they came to you?
That's when it started, when I was 3 years old.
Oh, wow. Don't ask me to ask. I just know when I was old enough to recognize and realize it was when I was a teenager. What about you, Ma?
Huh?
I done told you I leave her alone. No.
I have to tell you something later.
I know. You keep thinking about that house, huh? Because it's green.
No, something else.
No, but like,
I swear, and I said, Toni, I hope I don't do that this time around. And this, I just can't help it.
They already gave her messages.
I'll zone out. Yeah. I did have a question overall for like intuitive readers.
Okay.
I guess I'm having like a hard time finding our group of people because there's not a lot of like
it's not a lot of intuitive more tarot readers.
There's more tarot than intuitive.
Yes.
So my question is,
or they'll call themselves intuitive tarot readers because I've seen some of them say that. Mm-hmm.
Do you think for you is it just more intuitive reader or do you do more?
I just do intuitive, but to go back to what you said about our kind, we very far and few between. It's not everybody that has the gift that we have. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of imitations, but they're not.
Yes. I was looking forward to meeting you. I was like, one of my people? I've been searching for her or him, whoever it was.
I understand, but I honestly feel in my spirit, I know in my soul that it is that way for a reason because it's not a lot of people that can do what we can do. So it has to be a lot of fake people out there to keep us hidden and cloaked, hidden in plain sight. That's how my spirit told me. Mm-hmm. So don't worry.
Or for you, when you asked me a week or so or two ago, I'm around a lot of foolishness. And so they don't know that I have a certain gift. And then when I say to myself, it's like you look weird, but you're not weird. It's just the fact that they don't know because I like to call them demons. Mm-hmm. That's what I call them at work. So,
And then so with you, I don't know if you're an empath, but I'm an empath. So like when you get around a lot of people and they don't know anything about cleansing themselves and all the different energies, demons and spirits and entities that they can have on them, you can feel that.
You can.
So like, cause like for instance, yesterday, I was in the nail salon. I said, oh my God, they got these loud people in here and they're really like irritating me and they need to go cleanse themselves because I feel their energy and it's so off. Like you in, and I be like, I need to find me a mobile tech that can come to my house because I just don't always like being out in public. And it's not saying that I want to forever be an introvert and just be to myself in my house, but this is a lot of times I notice when I do go out in public, I just run across some folks I just don't want to be around. I just want to leave because I feel their energy.
They're being loud, or it's like you have some that just feel like I know for sure has childhood trauma issues, and it's like you got to hear yourself from 7:45 to whenever you go home. Do you ever take a break? Like, do you ever take a break?
I know you ever shut that trap.
Right. That's why you got to have that certain thing to mellow it out.
Right. Okay, ladies, can y'all share a memorable experience when your intuition or tarot cards provided a valuable guidance or insight to a client?
Okay, say that question one more time. Because I'm not about to mess this one up.
Okay. All right, I got y'all. Here I come. Can you share a memorable experience where your intuition, because we ain't got no tarot readers on here, so your intuition provided a valuable guidance or insight to a client?
Yes, my absolute favorite client. Hey, Ashley. This is my favorite client because her journey.
Your favorite client?
You are, but this one right here, her journey is spectacular. She started working with me when she was working at Walmart, and when I started doing her readings for her, I told her everything as far as her getting ready to move and she was going to be isolated. This girl followed my instructions, and every time I talk about her, I'll be ready to cry because to witness her journey is amazing. She followed the instructions to the T, okay? And she left Texas because she was doing piloting for a while. That's when you escort the 18-wheelers to drop loads all over the United States. Oh, wow. And one day she was driving and she called me. She was like, my GPS just rerouted itself to Colorado because I told her she was getting ready to locate to Colorado, but it was months before it happened. She said, I don't know what's going on. I say, so what you gonna do? She said, I'm going to go to Colorado. So she drove to Colorado from Washington because she was doing a load from Washington and she drove there. She was living out of her car. She had just the minimum stuff. That girl called me. She said, I made it. I'm supposed to go check into this hotel. And I was on the phone with her the whole entire time. And I said, how you feel? She was like, I'm a little nervous, but I'm following my spirit. She checked into that hotel and that man behind that counter said, are you by any chance looking for a job? Now, mind you, she just quit her job.
That was nobody
and she went to Colorado on a whim with no family or nothing. And she, like I say, she followed everything to the T. She went from working at the hotel, living at the hotel, to getting her own apartment, working for leasing agencies and things like that. Like her life just progressed all the way up, and now she's a business owner, getting ready to go to the next step. And that's my favorite one of all time. The ones that actually listen, because we don't do this for us.
Right.
We do this for y'all. And when y'all listen, we know what can happen to your life because we already see it. Y'all just gotta follow the instructions and do what we tell you to do, and everybody can be on the path that they supposed to be on.
Y'all hear that? Because she's speaking numbers straight up facts. Like, real talk. That's true.
For me, it was a good friend of mine. We worked together back in Georgia, and she didn't like her job. She didn't like her job at all. She was like, okay, I'm having a hard time. I'm going to just quit. And I just told her, if you decided to quit because you need to, find something else and that you don't have so much stress on your back. And the day I knew she was going to quit, she called me and she was like, tomorrow I'm going to come in and, do my 2-week notice. I said, you don't have to give people a 2-week notice anymore. You know that, right? That's just so traditional.
Right.
But if you have a backup plan and it's safe, which I knew it was, then go for it. So she did her thing. She put in a 2-week notice. She worked maybe 3 days out of that 2-week notice. Fast forward maybe 5-6 years later, she called me one day out of the blue and was like, hey, Ma, thank you so much. Because if I didn't listen to you, I wouldn't have got married. I wouldn't change careers. And she said, I'm excited. She said, I heard that you left that job. And I was like, I left them a year ago and I'm on my way to move. And she was like, that was a toxic environment. I was like, it was very toxic. I said, but I knew what I was doing when I left. But don't let nobody tell you what you can't do. But in 2 weeks, that man is going to call you and ask you want your job back. You tell him no. In 2 weeks, he called her and asked her, did she want her job back? She was like, no.
She got the gift. She got that gift. Okay, what about you, Ma?
No, I was like,
me, it's not so much more of a client, but family member.
Okay.
He, which to me, I think it's very rewarding to myself, to him, and everyone else that's involved.
Right.
It was basically more of a generational. So he was in the state of depression / had so he didn't know where he wanted to go in life, and he's like, why does everything keep going wrong in my life? But I knew he's a chosen one, and he has a purpose here, and he cannot leave this earth now, this where we are at right now. He can't leave right now. So then I said, okay, I started talking to him in different kinds of ways, and he ended up quitting his job because he wasn't happy there. And then we got together, and we're working now together to break generational curses within our family.
Generational curses,
because
right.
we are from the same. I got chills right now. We are both connected by my father's side.
Okay.
That's my father, the son of my father's brother, and you know what that means to me.
Yes.
So we're working now on, like, how can we break this generational curse?
Yes.
Okay, we broke that. How can we break the next one? Because there's several. People don't know that. Like, you think you only have one generational curse. No, it could be generational curse for love, generational curse for money, generational curse for bad health, generational curse for just, anything that you can think of. So to me, I don't see him as a client. It's a family. But to me, it is the most beautiful story that I can have, because it touches me, and we're making a difference with my family.
That's amazing. That's good.
Yeah.
Well, mine won't really be considered with, I guess you can say, reading. I do, when I do my magic and my work, I do pull cards and let people know their outcome. But I think the one that really, somewhat touched me was this gentleman that I was helping, and he kind of, did give me the heads up on things that was going on. But the cards that came out for him, it was so amazing, because in other words, it was basically saying what type of stubborn person he was. But it was a money spell. He wanted some money, and he wanted to help out with the roadblocks that he had going on. So I helped him out with that. And I guess he's making his money, because I ain't heard back from him. They get to making what they want. It's like, they go. You don't hear from them until they start having problems again.
Right, sometimes, or they'll financially bless you out the blue.
Yeah,
you know?
that part too.
Yeah.
Because I've had people say that. But I was just like, okay, I was just happy to be a blessing to help them out. And, it wasn't me being a reader. But I do pull cards when I do my candle and magic work because that's how I can tell what the outcome of their spell will be. So, yeah. Well, that's amazing, y'all. I got one more question for y'all ladies before we wrap this up. But what misconceptions do people have about tarot readers or intuitive abilities? What do y'all feel like the misconception that it is about them? Because I know a lot, but I'm just saying.
I'm gonna say that everybody is the same only because of the climate that spirituality is in now.
Right.
At first, when nobody really checking for what we doing, but once they start getting privy to the effects of our magic and the things that we can do, they started to commercialize it and capitalize off of it. So everything is starting to look the same and starting to look washed down. So I think that the misconception is that we're just like them, but we're something totally different.
Right. I totally agree.
When we get put into like, should we believe her? Is she really real?
Yes.
Because we've been put in that, like we're intuitive readers, and they're like, I got a lady yesterday, and how accurate are you? I'm like,
okay. Yes.
Let's find out.
I'm pretty good. I don't know. You're here for a reason. I don't know, but. I mean, we did get commercialized, and that's not good for us.
I think it's more of to me, the downfall to some of this, it will be the new age, because they just get out there and just experiment, not knowing that what you're bringing in could actually hurt you, but actually hurt your family to come, and then you making debts with what we call some church people call demons. You're making debts with other spirits and their deities that you don't know what's going on, and then it comes back for the ones that actually know what's going on, as the chosen ones that feel like, okay, why would you do that? And then when we try to say, hey, I don't think that was a good idea for you to do that, but since you're doing it, good luck, because that's going to be something that's going to be hard to get off.
That's why you don't know what you're doing.
But I think it's more of a to me, I think it's a good thing that we do know and that we are for sure and confident about what we do, and then other people, if they don't believe or they don't consider it, but in deep down I know that they believe, they just don't know how to go about it, because once they in a different religion, they were taught one way versus what we have going on, and then you'll see them scooch over to our side and be like, hey, can you help me?
Oh, they still be in that side, but they still want to be in this
side.
So it's kind of like they don't know where side they want to be.
I don't know. They're like,
and I always tell them, the pulpit offering is the same thing as this offering. It's just it has something else on it, but figure out which side you want to be on.
Please stick to that side.
But
at least as of age, you should just stick to one side. If you're like, I am this and I'm not this, don't flip flop back around, because you're gonna, I'm sorry, but you're gonna end up getting like in trouble
and being some real serious spiritual debt.
Let's just go ahead and do that.
All right. Well, can y'all share any tips or techniques for the listeners who want to enhance their intuition or even learn more about being an intuitive or a tarot reader?
Heal yourself.
You
cannot do anything until you dissect who you are first. So once you get your ego, your emotions, your trauma, and your pain completely out of you, you're not going to be able to do anything, because you're going to always have an emotional response when you're triggered by something that you are holding on. So heal yourself is my answer.
Yeah. Or you can get a blockage, because if you haven't healed something and somebody's coming you with the same thing that you haven't healed, you'll get blocked. That's happened to me before.
Get your blessings blocked.
I'm like, I have to get unblocked. I have to do that. And you have to heal, like she said, your trauma from back, like your childhood trauma, your like there's different stages. I know I keep talking about it in every session, but in every recording, but it's important to do that, to know who you are as a person from I mean, if you could, think about it, meditate. If you could, since you were a child. I mean, anybody can do that. Literally, anybody can. You just have to be open to do it and accept that some of the stuff that you might think or you might see it's going to be hurtful and it's going to be painful and it's going to be like, why did I have to go through that? Because our memory, our subconscious mind, is not aware of it. So then when you become aware of it, you're like, oh man, that really happened to me? That's really sad. So you have to heal yourself.
And then not only that, I like to dress. Your mood is how you dress. So for me, I always like to be isolated, like I said, walk in silence, stay alone for a while. I fast. So on certain days of the week or the weekend, I like to fast and just drink water and don't do nothing that day and just meditate. And then if I feel I'm in a good mood, which I try to be in a good mood all the time, it's not always happen. But I like to wear bright colors, blue, yellow, whatever I'm in the mood for, and go for those walks. So there's to piggyback everything that everyone said, do all of those things and practice self-care. That's very important. And play music, uplifting music.
That's important. That's very important.
You gotta raise your vibration.
Right.
Don't lower it.
Right. You gotta raise it up. Bring it up.
Yeah. I guess the tips that I would share with folks is if this is something that you want to do and that you're serious about wanting to do it, just make sure that you're not doing it because you see any and everybody else doing it. This is something in your heart. This is your path. This is something that you're serious about doing. Because honestly, a lot of people like to piggyback. A lot of people like to jump on the bandwagon and copy and do things that they see a lot of other folks do and not really be sincere and serious and have their heart in it. They're just thinking about the money that they can get out of it. And this is not a joke. This is something serious. And if this is what you want to do and that you feel in your heart this is what you were called to do and this is your path and you're one of the chosen ones, to do it. But just don't be out here doing it just because you see all these other folks doing it and they making a quick dollar. So like, don't do that. Because you're going to block your blessings. And ain't nothing good going to come with you doing something that you know deep down inside your heart and mind and soul is not into it. So with that all being said, ladies, do you have anything else y'all would like to share to the viewers?
You are what you attract.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What about you? You say I'm just gonna. I done said enough.
No, I'm just gonna leave everybody with trust yourself. Trust yourself, because it's about to get like the wild, wild west out here.
Y'all heard me.
Oh yeah, the portal's open up on the eclipse, right?
Man.
It's about to be fun.
It is. Well, hey, like I said, just make sure it's what you want to do it. But do your research and don't be playing no games, don't play around, okay? And with that all being said, like always, like, share, and subscribe. Leave your feedback down below. Until the next episode, bye.
My mind run deep in my thoughts when I didn't have it. Sleeping on the floor, wishing it was a mattress. Now I'm in Hollywood with actors and actresses, where everybody bougie, latest trends and fashions. I'd rather keep it a buck, 100 if you ask me. I was trying to pay the bills just like last week. I was trying to sell a deal just like last week. Trying to run plays and run it up like the math league. It's in my DNA.